How's it going, everyone? This is the George here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Killers of the Flower Moon. This is the newest film from Martin Scorsese, starring two of Scorsese's biggest stars that he works with, Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio, as well as Lily Gladstone, Jesse Plemons, and a small appearance from Brandon Fraser. But in this movie, this is based off events that took place in Oklahoma many years ago where a murder plot is happening to kill the members of the Osage tribe in order to get their wealth. They're a very wealthy tribe, and so a plot is happening to kill them in order to obtain their wealth. And this is a very long movie, a 3 hours and almost 3.5 hour movie. Yeah, it's like 3 hours and 27 minutes long. But, anyways, when it comes to Martin Scorsese, I haven't really reviewed any Martin Scorsese movies on this channel, but I have been a fan of Martin Scorsese since college when I started watching some of his films. The first film of his that I watched was The King of Comedy, followed by Gangs of New York, and then The Wolf of Wall Street. And I've been watching his movies since then. A lot of them I have rewatched many times, such as Goodfellas and Taxi Driver. There's still some that I have to watch, but I've basically watched all the household name Scorsese movies. And when it comes to Martin Scorsese, he never lets me down. He makes incredible movies, and it doesn't really matter how long they are. Whether it's a movie that's around the same length time as Goodfellas, that's like a 2 hour and 20 minute movie, or The Wolf of Wall Street, which is around 3 hours. He makes great movies, and he's great at capturing the time that these movies are taking place in and paying attention to detail. There's never a dull moment in a Martin Scorsese movies. Now, there's Martin Scorsese movies that I prefer over others, ones that I love, ones that I find underrated, such as Gangs of New York. And there's some that I find to be pretty good, but I don't love, such as his version of Cape Fear. But with Killers of the Flower Moon, this is definitely one of his better movies. This is a movie that he was very passionate about making. In the theater that I saw the movie in before the movie began, there was a video message from Martin Scorsese where he talked about how passionate he was about this project for a while, how they filmed in Oklahoma where these events actually did take place, where they got input and help from the Osage tribe to make this movie. And I'm pretty sure in an interview, Lily Gladstone has also brought that up, how they were very helpful with their input in making this movie. So, as I said before, this stars two actors that I've worked with Martin Scorsese many times, Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio. For basically the first half of Martin Scorsese's directing career, he's been directing movies for 5 decades now. Robert De Niro was in a lot of his movies such as Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Goodfellas, and then Leonardo DiCaprio for, I'm pretty sure, a little over 20 years with movies such as Shutter Island, Gangs of New York, The Departed, and The Wolf of Wall Street. So these are two of Scorsese's main guys, but they've never been in a Scorsese movie together. And this is the first time that we see them together. And neither disappointed. Robert De Niro has been in this business for a while, and you would think that at this stage of his career, he wouldn't be putting the amount of effort that he is putting into his performance. But this is definitely one of his best performances in recent years. I can see him getting nominated for Best Actor for this one. I wouldn't be surprised if we got like a battle of the Roberts, because Robert Downey Jr. gave that terrific performance in Oppenheimer, and then you got Robert De Niro's performance. He plays this character William Hale, who's basically the mastermind behind all of this. But like the way he plays it off, he's very manipulative. He has the trust of the Osage, and he does a lot for the community. So it's kind of hard for people to buy into the fact at first that maybe this guy's doing this, but then as the film progresses, we're slowly seeing things unravel. And then Leonardo DiCaprio plays his nephew, Ernest Burkhart, who's coming back from World War I. And this is one of his best performances. Leonardo DiCaprio does a terrific job. This is another performance that he should get a nomination for. And he is terrific. And his facial expressions, the emotion that he has, because he falls in love with this member of the Osage, Molly, who is played brilliantly by Lily Gladstone. I'm going to get into her performance real soon. But basically, the conflict that he's dealing with, and you can see how easy he is to manipulate, because he falls in line with this plan. But at a certain point, he's starting to realize that maybe this isn't what he should be doing. He's starting to feel conflicted because he's forming a family with this woman. And to me, Lily Gladstone was the heart and soul of this movie. We obviously expected Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio, who have been in this business for a while, who have worked with Scorsese for many years, to deliver great performances. But Lily Gladstone, to me, is definitely a contender for Best Actress. She should be considered a contender for Best Actress. She delivered a powerful performance, and a lot's happening with this character because she's got diabetes, her health is declining, and members of her family are dying. They're getting killed off, and she's not realizing what her husband is doing, what her husband's family is doing. But just a great performance from Lily Gladstone in this movie. And Scorsese, this is another movie that takes place in a certain time period, and he captures that time period and setting so well. The setting looks incredible. The costume designs are incredible. The diversity, the representation of the Osage in this film, the Native American talent that they got for this movie. He did such an incredible job of capturing that in this movie. The soundtrack done by Robbie Robertson before he passed away a couple of months ago, who is part Native American, delivered a great score that pays homage to Native American music. And my favorite part with this score is these moments of tension. Now, we know people are getting killed in this movie, but there's moments of tension where characters are talking, they're sitting down, they're either having intense stare offs or they're talking, and you hear it beating, hear the beat of it, and it's creating tension because we don't know, like, is someone gonna reveal that they know what's going on? Is someone gonna confess to what they're doing? Is someone gonna slip up and say the wrong thing? Is someone going to start suspecting this person of doing whatever? I love those moments of tension, and there are plenty of it in this movie. It's not just when these people are getting killed off or like when something's happening. There are great moments of tension in this movie that don't require big action scenes or a lot of yelling and loud talking in this movie. You also have Jesse Plemons in this movie. He's from the FBI and he's investigating these murders. He comes in later in this movie. Same thing with Brandon Fraser. He plays the lawyer that's defending William Hayden in this movie. And there's not a whole lot of them in this movie, so don't come into this movie expecting a whole lot of Jesse Plemons and Brendan Fraser in this movie. To me, the main focus, the main stars of this movie that are obviously going to get noticed by the Academy will be Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Lily Gladstone. And I get it, this is a long movie. If you're not a fan of long movies that are not franchise movies, because if it's a franchise movie, they tend to do very well in the box office, movies such as Lord of the Rings, Avatar, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I feel like this is a movie that is worth watching in the theaters, even though it's not a franchise movie. It's one of those movies that reminds us why we love the movie going experience, why we love directors such as Martin Scorsese. This is the first time I've seen a Martin Scorsese movie on the big screen, and I had a blast watching it. I didn't care for the 3.5 hour runtime. I was engaged the whole time. If I needed to go to the bathroom, I just stayed put because I was worried that if I just left for a few minutes just to go to the bathroom, I was going to miss an important detail or a possible twist. Like, I was so engaged in watching this movie. And the movie ends in a way that you didn't expect it to end because there's a message at the end. Minor spoiler, like a message at the end. But I found the message to be pretty fine. I mean, if people are going to debate what should have been cut from the movie, I don't think anything should have been cut in the movie. But if people said that thing at the end where it changes a little bit should have been cut, I can understand why people think that. I can understand why people think it might have taken them out of the experience after most of the movie being that way. But overall, with Killers of the Flower Moon, this is an incredible movie with incredible performances, an incredible score, great tension, a great story that Martin Scorsese helped write. The screenplay was excellent in this movie. The representation was incredible. And As far as Martin Scorsese movies go, I wouldn't say this is my favorite. My favorite Scorsese movie is probably Goodfellas, followed by The Departed, but this is definitely one of Scorsese's best movies so far. And even though I get the runtime, it's going to come on Apple TV. I don't know when, but if you're waiting to watch this when it's released on Apple TV, go watch it as soon as you can when it comes out at home. If you want to watch it in theaters, go see it in theaters, or you're curious about seeing it and don't mind being in the theater for 3.5 hours, go check it out. I'm going to give Kills of the Flower Moon an A. As far as the two movies that are going to probably be duking it out once award season comes, Oppenheimer and Kills of the Flower Moon, I personally enjoyed Oppenheimer a bit more, but I won't blame people for preferring Kills of the Flower Moon because they're both excellent movies directed by two excellent directors in Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan. And I thought at first Nolan was going to run away with the Oscar, or at least Oppenheimer was going to run away. But Kills of the Flower Moon, I think, is going to give it terrific competition. I don't know if there's going to be any other movies that are going to be up there. I don't know how Ridley Scott's Napoleon movie is going to turn out. But yeah, go see Kills of the Flower Moon if you haven't already. And what's your favorite Martin Scorsese movie? Or what movie did you prefer more, Oppenheimer or Kills of the Flower Moon? Let me know in the comments down below. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe already. If you haven't, please share us with someone that loves Martin Scorsese movies. And I hope to see you guys real soon. Take care, everyone.